Hey, Cade, it's Pride Month. Thank you so much for joining me on my little podcast for the love of pride.
Yay! Oots, 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 oots. I'm
So,
glad to be here.
favorite pride song.
Okay, that's my first question. Favorite pride?
Well, you
I
know mine brings
well,
me to
yeah,
tears.
yours is obviously Born This Way by Lady
Yes,
Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
But I like some of the voguing songs. There's some really fun ones. But I don't know, maybe some Beyonce songs. I don't know.
Okay.
But I would say the voguing songs are that's like the most like gay culture.
I love it. Love it. So I know recently you went to Philly Pride. Tell me a little bit about that. What was it like?
So this is my second year going to Philly Pride, and it's honestly it's such an accepting place to be, especially coming from a small town, going into the city, like seeing everyone who's just like you, or like being being extreme in your small town to becoming very middle of the ground, even conservative within a group is like crazy to see and awesome, I think. Um, Philly Pride is really interested in the fact that it's um still similar to Stonewall in the fact that it's still a protest first. Um, it you do a march through the city and it's like a parade, but we're doing chants and all that stuff while we're walking through, and you get to be a part of that. And there's still people that are standing on like the sides watching too. It's mostly the older crowd and like kids that like stand on the sides, but like a lot of people still continue. A lot of people just walk through it too. And the line goes all the way back down off like you go Walnut. It goes all the way down 6th Street.
Okay.
Um, and that part, walking through the parade for me, is the one of my favorite parts because it just feels so like everyone's like so accepting. There's a bunch of like moms that are like free mom hugs or whatever, and they're fun to get, and they're always just like they're like thank you. Everyone's just like thank you for being you, and like it's
You're
great to see that.
loved, you're supported.
Yeah, it's good to see that. I mean, obviously, there's still like the dude that's like there, like yelling at us, like being like, "Why do you guys want to kill each other, kill yourselves every week, or whatever? Like, why do you contemplate suicide all the time?" It's for like trying to say like we're, and everyone just ignores them and keeps walking.
All right.
But some people yell at them, but that's just Philly. Well, that's just like every pride protest. There's always going to be haters, but for the most part, a really it's like the most accepting place I've ever been.
Love that for you. So you're going to be going to another Pride this summer.
I am going to Bologna Pride at the end of the summer, yes, or
So
the end of June.
that'll be really cool to
Yeah,
see
that would be
what that's
fun to
like.
see like a different culture pride and how they do it and how it's differentiates from ours. I think it's probably a little bit, I don't know if it's more accepted over there or if not, but like
Right.
I'm just gonna like feel it out.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about that. I mean, feeling accepted. I know that's big, right? Um, when did you like have you, I mean, obviously you haven't always felt comfortable and it's been a journey of understanding like who you are, right?
And
And
it still is, it always is.
yeah,
Like I mean, it's just honestly such a spectrum of everything, gender, sexuality, all of it. And it would be a lot easier if everyone could just like see that and notice that. I mean, but it's not how our world works. Our world works with labels. So kind of finding where you fit in is really hard. Um, and that's still a journey. Like I feel like I'll be figuring out for my whole fucking life, probably.
yeah.
Um,
I want to kind of go back in time when I recognized as your mom, you were going through a hard time and it was in middle school. And, you know, no one gives you a rule book you can follow to how to be a good parent. And I have no idea what, I said, I guess what I want to explore that with you is I remember you coming to me and saying, I just don't know who I am. I just don't know where I belong. I don't know where I fit in. And my advice to you was, you don't need to know, not yet. I said, you don't need to identify with anything yet. You're just you, right? Like I didn't want you to label yourself so young. And I still
Yeah,
feel that way with a lot of my friends that are younger that, lean into a label, which believe me, I think I understand the security and the safety of identifying with a certain group. But I also, as a parent, like just wanted you to know that it didn't matter. Like I just loved you for you. You could be whatever you want to be, and I wanted to protect you in that bubble. But like going back, like, do you feel like that was the right thing? Or, I mean,
I definitely felt like you did that, for sure. You definitely made me feel, I mean, you made me feel that I could just be who I was, but like not that I had to like be any, I don't know. I had positives and negatives, I think though. Um, like telling me I didn't have to be something even if I felt that way kind of like made me hold out longer, I
okay.
think a little bit. But I think it did like help me understand who I was as a person more, like rather than just jumping into it, which I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just hard. So
I
if you
feel
were
like
to go back to like, middle school, like,
I
what would you
wouldn't
tell
go to middle
yourself?
school ever.
Right, it was horrible, and high school too. But what would you tell like your younger version of yourself? Like, how would you help that person that's going through a difficult time in middle school or high school? What would you say to them?
I don't know. I mean, just that, I mean, it never really ends is kind of my answer to that. So you kind of like, I'm sorry, there's like some cars going on outside our house right now. But it never really ends. Like, there's always going to be that hater somewhere, or just like that op, or like that, you know what I mean when I'm saying, I don't know if you guys know what I mean when I'm saying that op, but like, there's just always going to be someone who doesn't like you or hates who you are, is threatened, just threatened by you for no reason. And um I've kind of just learned that life is too short to give a fudge fuck about that, to give a fuck about it.
There you go.
um
Drop it, my boy. It's one of my favorite
um
words.
you have to you have to just like, I mean, there's a difference between like, obviously there's some respect that needs to be shown towards people, but like I've just like kind of done, I don't know, I'm just done messing with like people that don't fuck with me. I just, okay,
It's
like I'm not
right.
gonna fuck with you back. Like that's my
Yeah.
energy.
So what I'm
Um,
hearing is
I think
you,
it would just be, I think I would just tell myself that like life is short and enjoy what you have at school. Um, I think I think it could have. I also think if I wasn't so worried about like, because senior year really sucked because like I kind of got left out by a lot of the people that I thought were my friends. But I think if I went back and I told myself like, um be friends with the people that actually like are cool to you, and just like if I if I looked at it more of like a broad with a broader head, I think I could have made some other friends or like gotten closer with other kids that were also in the same boat as me and
Right.
that were around me and that were really cool.
Right. Well, I think, it is a journey, Cade, and you're still on it, right? And I think that's good perspective. I mean, what I've heard from you is you've taken a path that's not easy, right? It's never gonna be a fairy tale, right? Like that's what you've learned. They're always gonna be, you're not gonna fit into that mainstream of acceptance, and you don't care to people please anymore. You're standing up for yourself and who you are. And I think that's really courageous. I mean, I've seen you grow tremendously over the last couple years, just more confident. And I also think that's finding people that are your tribe, right? Finding people that just, like you said, support you, love you for who you are, and just going towards that. So good for you. I'm proud of you. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on in our country. What would you say is like what do you see for yourself, a vision for yourself in like school or the future? What would be a beautiful, bright future for you?
For me,
Yeah,
or just like
in the
politically,
community. Yeah.
um I need to like I think there needs to be way more like I think there needs to be some kind of I mean, I think there needs to be less like fear around the gay community for sure. Um but I think like the main issue is like trans health and the trans community right now. I mean, it also leads into women's health just in general, but I think Planned Parenthood needs to be heavily incorporated into our lives, and there also needs to be like easy ways around gender reaffirming surgeries and stuff like that. I mean, an ideal future for me, this is getting a little weird, but I think we assign gender to kids way too young.
Okay.
And I actually would like, no matter how someone was, I know it's a little hard to say, like, if you have a daughter, like, you want to call her she, her, and like be like, this is my daughter. But I think it would be a lot more beneficial for people in general. Just like, I mean, I think just like just to have less associated like things, because like when I growing up, it's just like boys are blue and I liked pink, and you told me I could like pink, but people would tell me I'm weird for liking pink, like, and it's just like a lot of stuff like that. Like, I feel like us as a community, I think we are from a young age, we tell kids this is who you are,
Right.
and I think that needs to change. I
Right.
think that the major for the community. I think that's what we need. I think for the community, we need to be less conforming on kids from a young age, like separating kids by boys and girls, separating, like, no,
Right.
we're just kids. Like, I think there has to be more of like and also like a teaching of like how you can be anything you want.
Yeah. You can have any types of feelings towards any type of person. There's
Mm.
not just one way to love. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of like, I think, especially growing up for kids now, I mean, not really for me, but like the generation that's growing up now, there is a lot more queer representation in media, which I think is great. But like my goal, especially through my path as a filmmaker, I hope to increase that. And, the gay agenda, I hope to propagate it. The gay agenda, and like help get some representation out there, so like kids watch movies and they see but I think it's like also, I think it's also like important to like, it's like not, queer characters don't always have to be good either. Like queer people are also bad. Queer people
They're
are also
people.
people.
They're people.
So I
Yeah.
think I would love to show every angle and side of, I just want to tell stories that just have queer people in them.
Got it. Well, I love that. And that's something you've opened the door to me, to some of my favorite shows. Heartstoppers, hello. Like
That one
I
is
just
sad.
love that I can see that on TV and I can share it with some of my young friends, and it's just,
I think
to
that
me,
show's
it's so
great for like
beautiful.
kids and stuff too, because it's really like hard. It's really, it's like PG enough and it's like
Just so
cute.
adorable. I
Yeah.
love it. Any other favorite shows of yours today?
Gay shows. I watch
Yeah.
Pose,
Oh,
watch
right.
Pose,
Oh,
watch
okay.
Pose, watch
How
Drag
about
Race,
Our Flag
obviously.
Means Death, Gay Pirates? It's my favorite.
Yep. Watch Paris is Burning.
Paris
It's
is
a great
Burning.
movie.
Okay.
A great movie. I mean, that's you learn, you'll learn about, that's what Pose is like based off. It's all the ball community. It's a documentary. Paris is Burning is really important. That was a
Okay.
very big step for our community. Like I would definitely check that out. If you haven't watched Paris is Burning, guys, watch that. Um Obviously watch Drag Race, just because if you love art and you love like competition shows, it's amazing. These people are completely changing, like putting on boobs and putting on thousand things of makeup, and it's so funny. And there's just so much drama because gays are filled with drama. Um, yeah, no, watch those shows, but there's like, um, yeah, no, there's a lot of great shows to check out for sure.
Well, our time is coming to an end. You're my kid, so you'll be back on my little podcast, right?
Oh, I guess.
Yes, I think so. We'll have to continue the conversation. We just touched on it, really. And I really thank you so much for sharing openly, for being you, kind, loving, beautiful. You light up the world. I can't wait to see how you use your craft, your film to enlighten us even more.
Thank you. I'll try.
Oh, the pressure. You're great. Love you, honey. Thank you so much for sharing.
All right. Bye, Mom. Bye,
Bye.
podcast.
Goodbye. Yay, Pride. Let's
Yay,
go.
Pride. Pride 365.